Eva strolled along the street, her face adorned with an exuberant smile. The gentle caress of the summer breeze tousled her hair, adding to her joyous demeanor. Today marked the long-awaited culmination of her cherished aspirations. She envisaged herself stepping into the store, eagerly selecting the coveted items and carrying them home, carefully securing them within her purse. As she passed a somber-looking pedestrian, Eva beamed at them, spreading her infectious happiness. To some, her dream may have appeared trivial, but to Eva, it held immense significance. 6 months ago, she had discovered a pair of earrings in a quaint jewelry boutique. Remarkably resembling the ones once owned by her great-grandmother, they had solely existed in photographs. Her grandmother and mother had regaled her with tales of how her great-grandfather, an officer, had bestowed those very earrings upon his young bride. Tragically, during the war, her great-grandfather had passed away, compelling her great-grandmother to part with the earrings in order to provide for Eva's grandmother and her brother. Antonina Stepanovna, Eva's grandmother, recounted the arduous decision her mother had faced while relinquishing those cherished adornments. It had been an act of utmost necessity, reserved for the direst circumstances. The moment Eva laid eyes on those earrings in the store, an unwavering resolve took hold within her. She resolved to do whatever it took to make that precious jewelry her own. She did not dwell on whether they were an exact match or not. What mattered was that they would possess their own familial memories. Upon discovering the price tag, a flicker of surprise crossed her face. However, she swiftly made up her mind to save every penny possible, undeterred by the challenge ahead. Shaking her head, the girl expelled her melancholic thoughts, determined to embrace the joyousness of the day. With just the right amount of money loaded onto her card, she embarked on her journey to the familiar store. Eva had been keeping a vigilant eye on it, knowing that the coveted earrings remained unsold. Guided by her regular observations, she turned onto the correct street, anticipation coursing through her. The store's beckoning entrance was already within her sight. All that remained was to navigate the crossing. Eva patiently awaited the green light, eager to reach her destination, when suddenly, a dog darted across the street from the opposite side. The girl's hand instinctively flew to her mouth in horrified disbelief. It was a sizable Labrador, seemingly gripped by fear, dashing onto the roadway without any regard for its safety. A deafening crash ensued, accompanied by the dog's anguished cries. The traffic came to an abrupt halt. Without a moment's hesitation, Eva sprang into action, rushing to the aid of the wounded creature. Though the dog was alive, the severity of its injuries was evident. It required urgent medical attention. As Eva approached, a disgruntled driver exited his vehicle and confronted her. "Don't you know how to take care of your own animal?" he bellowed, "while we suffer through this." "It's not my dog," Eva whispered under her breath, "but she's in pain. She urgently needs to be taken to a hospital." "Well, I certainly won't be the one to do it." "Get her out of the way. I'm in a hurry," the man retorted callously. Eva stared at him, her mind reeling from the encounter. Just then, a compassionate touch landed on her shoulder. "Young lady," a stranger spoke gently, "let's load the dog into my car. I'll take you to the vet. She needs immediate help if there's any hope for her recovery." Eva hastily nodded in agreement. The unfamiliar man gently scooped up the injured dog and carried it to his car. A cozy blanket awaited the animal on the back seat, where he carefully placed it. Eva settled herself beside him, brimming with concern. "Do you think she'll make it?" Eva anxiously inquired. "I'm no expert," the man responded, shifting into the driver's seat, "but it doesn't look promising." Eva cast a sorrowful glance at the dog, silently concurring with the assessment. The poor creature appeared gravely injured. Thankfully, the veterinary clinic lay within reasonable proximity. With the stranger's assistance, they managed to transport the dog inside before he departed. The medical staff took their time examining the animal, conducting various tests, while Eva waited patiently. Eventually, she was informed that the dog required urgent surgery due to internal bleeding. However, there was optimism. Should the operation prove successful, the dog's chances of survival were considerably high. Eva nodded resolutely, her thoughts consumed by the urgent mission of saving the fragile life before her. In that moment, she couldn't fathom anything else. The operation spanned a prolonged 2 hours, and at last, the veterinarian emerged into the hallway. Everything went well. The surgery was successful, the vet reassured. We'll keep the dog overnight. You can come to pick her up tomorrow afternoon. Oh, and please proceed to the reception, where the staff will provide you with the bill to settle. Eva nodded and followed the indicated direction. Within minutes, a piece of paper rested in her hands, and the amount inscribed upon it left her stunned. It encompassed nearly her entire savings, painstakingly amassed over time for the coveted earrings. Yet, there was no choice but to pay. She had to honor her responsibility. The following day, Eva made her way to the clinic to retrieve Lucky, the Labrador. Still weak, the dog required a taxi ride home. While at the clinic, Eva discovered that Lucky was, in fact, a male dog of approximately 2 years old. Without hesitation, she decided to name him Lucky. As the days passed, Lucky's health improved rapidly, prompting Eva to contemplate her next steps with the newfound companion. It became increasingly evident that he was a well-cared-for pet, evident from his groomed appearance and the collar and broken leash still attached to him. Eva initially intended to create flyers and post them around the neighborhood, but a colleague at work suggested a more modern approach, searching for missing animals on the internet. She directed Eva to various social media groups where individuals posted ads about their lost pets. Intrigued, Eva embarked on an exploration of these online communities that evening. It didn't take long for her to stumble upon a picture of a dog that bore a striking resemblance to Lucky. The owner's post explained that the leash had snapped, startling the dog and causing him to bolt away. Considering the search area mentioned, it seemed highly plausible that Lucky was the same dog. Filled with hope, Eva dialed the contact number provided and arranged to meet the owner. Half an hour later, Marat arrived, evident by his hurried arrival and labored breathing. As soon as Eva opened the door, Lucky leaped into Marat's arms, expressing his boundless joy through wagging his tail and showering the man's face with affectionate licks. Marat held the dog tightly, a mixture of relief and happiness radiating from his face. Thank you so much. Marat expressed his gratitude to Eva. I didn't dare to hope. What happened to him? He inquired with concern. He was hit by a car right in front of me, Eva responded. But he's doing well now. I have all the documents from the vet, and you can read them yourself. Marat paused for a moment, then asked, You're Eva, right? Eva nodded in confirmation. I'm Marat, he introduced himself. Eva, I don't know how to thank you. I couldn't sleep or eat properly. God, all the thoughts that ran through my mind. Life just isn't the same without Oscar. Oscar, Eva repeated, recalling her chosen name for the dog, Lucky. Well, in a way, he is lucky because he found you, Marat remarked. Eva, you saved my dog. I want to express my gratitude over and over again. And please give me all the bills for his treatment. I'll reimburse you. Eva shook her head firmly. No, there's no need, she insisted. You'd be better off using that money for Oscar's recovery. I've been informed that he will require regular training sessions and quite a bit of medication as well. But still, Eva, no, she interrupted, resolute in her decision. I don't want anything in return. Just keep me updated. Let me know how he's doing from time to time. A sudden smile spread across Marat's face. You know what, Eva? Since you don't want to accept any money, perhaps you would consider joining us for dinner. Oscar and I are both great cooks. Eva couldn't help but smile back. That sounds wonderful, she replied warmly. I would love to have dinner with you and Oscar. It'll be a joy to see him thriving and to share a meal together. Okay, Eva agreed unexpectedly, her heart filled with warmth and anticipation. The first dinner led to more, and soon Eva became a regular visitor to Murat and Oscar's home. Sometimes, she would invite them over to her own place as well. Her attachment grew, not only to the lovable dog, but also to the wonderful person who cared for him. As the new year approached, they made the decision to celebrate the holiday together. A few hours before the new year, Eva entered Murat's apartment, where Oscar joyfully bounded out of the room to greet her. She wondered aloud, will it just be the three of us? Murat looked at her curiously and asked, do you need someone else? Eva shrugged and replied, no, I don't need anyone else. Murat's face lit up with happiness as he patted Oscar on the head. Well, little one, let's show our guest what we've cooked. Moments before the stroke of midnight, Murat surprised Eva with a beautiful box. This is for you. I couldn't wait any longer, so I decided to give it to you now. Eva opened the box, her astonishment evident. Inside were the very earrings she had dreamt of for so long. How did you know? She asked, her voice filled with shock. Murat looked at her with a tender smile. I guess my heart told me, he said, listening attentively as Eva shared the story of her long-cherished earrings. Eva held the earring box close to her chest, her emotions overwhelming. And now what? She asked, her eyes glistening. Murat gently took her hand and replied, and now we welcome the new year. He pulled her closer, embracing her with warmth and love. End. Thank you for subscribing and like.